Imagine ruling an empire that stretched from the Himalayas to the Deccan, from the deserts of Rajasthan to the jungles of Bengal. Imagine being the most powerful man in the world, yet living a life of such austerity and piety that you copied the Quran by hand to pay for your own funeral. This is the story of Aurangzeb, the sixth and last of the great Mughal emperors, a man who shaped India's destiny for nearly half a century. But behind a glittering throne lay secrets of blood, betrayal, and a legacy that still divides historians today. So let's uncover 5 shocking facts about Aurangzeb that you won't believe. Aurangzeb's rise to power was anything but peaceful. In the Mughal Empire, every prince had an equal claim to the throne, not just the eldest son. This led to some of the most brutal succession wars in history. When Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb's father, fell ill in 1657, his 4 sons went to war, not after his death, but while he was still alive. Aurangzeb, the third son, was ruthless. He defeated his eldest brother, Dara Shikoh, executed him, and imprisoned his own father in Agra fort for the rest of his life. He then turned on his other brothers, Murad and Shuja, defeating and killing them as well. Aurangzeb's victory was sealed not just by his cunning, but by his willingness to spill his own family's blood. This bloody beginning set the tone for his reign, marked by suspicion, betrayal, and a relentless drive for power. Aurangzeb is often remembered for his religious policies. Unlike his great-grandfather Akbar, who promoted tolerance, Aurangzeb was a strict Sunni Muslim who sought to make India an orthodox Islamic state. He reimposed the jizya tax on non-Muslims in 1679, a tax that had been abolished by Akbar. He destroyed many Hindu temples and restricted Hindu festivals. Sikh and Rajput leaders who defied him were executed or humiliated. These policies alienated large sections of the population. The Marathas, Sikhs, Jats, and Rajputs all rebelled against his rule. Even the English East India Company took up arms against him in 1686. Aurangzeb's empire may have reached its greatest extent under him, but was also deeply divided. His reign saw the rise of powerful regional powers that would eventually help bring down the Mughal Empire. Aurangzeb was not just a ruler, he was a moral policeman. He appointed officials called mutasibs to enforce Islamic law. Drinking, gambling, prostitution, and even the use of narcotics were banned. Hindu practices like saluting in the traditional way were forbidden in court. Music and dance, once patronized by the Mughals, lost royal support. The position of women in society declined sharply under his rule. Aurangzeb's personal life was marked by austerity. He slept in a simple tent, wore plain clothes, and copied the Quran by hand to pay for his own funeral. But this outward piety masked a ruler who was willing to use any means, including violence and manipulation, to maintain control. Despite his immense wealth, Aurangzeb was possibly the richest man in the world. He lived a life of remarkable simplicity. He refused to wear silk or gold, preferring plain cotton. He made his own caps and sold his calligraphy to support his modest lifestyle. His treasury overflowed with gems, pearls, and the legendary Kohinoor diamond. But this simplicity was deceptive. Aurangzeb was a master of political intrigue. He manipulated allies and enemies alike, always staying one step ahead. His military campaigns, especially in the Deccan, drained the empire's resources and led to widespread poverty. Aurangzeb's rule was marked by both austerity and ambition, a combination that made him both feared and respected, but also deeply resented. As Aurangzeb lay dying at the age of 89, he wrote a letter to his son. In it, he confessed his doubts and fears. He felt he had failed as a ruler and a Muslim, and was terrified of the judgment that awaited him in the afterlife. He wrote, "I came alone and I go as a stranger. I do not know who I am, nor what I have been doing." He said goodbye 3 times. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. This rare glimpse into Aurangzeb's soul reveals a man haunted by his own actions. Despite his power and piety, he died alone, uncertain of his legacy and fearful of divine retribution. Aurangzeb's death marked the beginning of the end for the Mughal Empire. His successors could not hold together the vast, fractured empire he left behind. So, what do you think? Was Aurangzeb a pious ruler, a ruthless tyrant, or something in between? His story is one of ambition, faith, and a heavy price of power. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Aurangzeb's shocking secrets, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories from Indian history. And tell us in the comments, which fact about Aurangzeb shocked you the most? Until next time, keep exploring the past, because history is always more surprising than you think.